What's up, everyone? Welcome to Play by Play Tech, episode 20.
Yeah, we
I'm
made
one
it,
of your
right?
hosts. Yeah, I am one of your hosts, Max Chambliss, alongside my other host, Moan Dog Gaming, the converter to the PlayStation 5.
I know, right? So,
What's going on?
nothing, man. What's been going on with you this week? Well, this is number one. It's been an exciting week since the last time we
I
were
was like,
on.
really? What's going on this week? I can tell you a lot.
Well, I mean, it's been a very, very exciting week because it was, of course, console launch last week. So it, man, I think I have converted back over to PlayStation.
Really?
Yeah. So if you guys haven't noticed, Max and we've been talking about Xbox this whole time because of what they've been promoting, what they said they were going to do, and all the things that they have, and they do have it. I'm not gonna lie, they have it. It's still more powerful, still this and that. But when me and Max talk, PlayStation feels like a next gen experience. It does. I can't complain. I am at awe with the system.
Yeah. Oh man. So let's talk about last week. So we was able to get our consoles. I got my Xbox Series X a day late. And I thought I was going to get on launch day, but I didn't. Moan got his 2 days late.
Too late, yep.
Yeah, 2 days late. But we both got our PlayStation 5 on the same day on launch day. So that was kind of like the good part. So man, I'll talk about Xbox first. So you could watch both of our YouTube channels. I did an unboxing. I did 2 separate videos. I did an unboxing for the Xbox Series X, and I did an unboxing for the PlayStation 5. Moan just did all the unboxings all in one video. And he did like Stadia unboxing controller, and he did a motherboard unboxing, and I'm just like, oh yeah. And then you did his Elgato unboxing. I mean, he just went through the whole. It was like almost an hour-long vlog or video on YouTube of all this unboxing. So I mean, it was great. It was a great video, but I mean,
I think it was too lengthy though. It was too lengthy.
But no, he was ready. He said, "Wait, there's more." But so let's talk about the Xbox Series X. So when I first got the Xbox Series X, I texted Mo a picture of the Series X box, and I said, "Look what I got." He was pissed off. He was just like, "Man, why I didn't get mine yet?" But I'll say this: in my experience, and like I said, I could go blow for blow from each console. I think Xbox just in general, I think they had the best presentation when it comes to giving you like the next generation system or the system of their Xbox. I never saw. It's like when you get the box and stuff, when you get the system itself, it's like their presentation, as in like when you open it and take a look at the system and how to have everything wrapped. It was way better than the PlayStation 5 and stuff like that. It was very easy. The PlayStation 5, on the other hand, is just like I was struggling.
Was basic.
Because I was trying to be very delicate when I was trying to open up the box, and I was like, "Please hope I don't tear the box up. Please hope I don't tear the box up open." It's like with the Xbox, all you had to do was you just had to take a couple of tapes, and you just flip it open, and it's like there it is right there and there. With the PlayStation, on the other hand, you literally had to take it out, and then it's just like their presentation was okay and stuff, but like Xbox really did over and beyond with their unboxing, especially said Power Your Dreams, especially when you got the wrapping on there. When you look at the Xbox Series, it's just everything just look top tier with the Xbox.
It makes you feel like you got the exclusive behind the scenes premium YouTube video person, right? That's the type of stuff that they get, where they get all the extra stuff and this extra presentation. It really made you feel like you were a part of it. You know, it it struck me really good. I was very impressed. If you guys haven't seen it or anything of that nature, well, our videos, go check them out. It's on my YouTube page, on Max's YouTube page, Moondog Gaming, Max Shameless. Max has 2 separate videos, and I gotta mention it, Max. Like, Max was dancing when he got his PS5, so go check out his moves.
Yeah, that was. I didn't want to get no copyright infringement. Yeah, now this is the thing is about it. I was excited for both consoles, but I don't know. It's just like I was leaning towards more PS5 just because the day that I got it, I just knew something was just like magical was going to happen.
Yeah,
and people may say like, oh, now I'm jumping on the Sony camp and stuff like that. I'm not jumping on the Sony camp. I'm still neutral and stuff. I like Xbox a lot. I like PlayStation a lot too. I'm on both sides of the fence and stuff. I just felt like I could say this. When I started playing, when you first hit the start button on the PlayStation 5, I felt that it was next gen. In my opinion, that when you start the screen, and this is kind of like where it changes. Like Xbox One, the unboxing, their presentation, it was top tier, it was premium. Thank you, Microsoft, for doing that. Whoever came up with the box with that was fantastic. I have no complaints with that. Sony, you need to work on that. I think you, like I said, I wish y'all came up with a better box when it comes to the packaging wise. When it comes to the PlayStation 5, that's just my opinion and stuff. I don't know, Mo. What do you think? And stuff.
The PlayStation made me feel like I was unboxing a PlayStation 4 Pro. It was exactly identical. But the Xbox, the presentation was amazing. I even still think the system looks awesome, even though it's just a regular box shape. I love the top ventilation where it has like this. Well, everybody thought it was, before anybody got a hold of it, it was a green LED light, but when you move it around, the circle of the green light goes in and comes out and goes in and comes out. And I think that's a real cool effect. But I wish that they would have made that RGB. Now, don't get me wrong. I have a feeling somebody on YouTube is going to do it. Somebody on YouTube has already customized their plates and stuff for their PS4. So it wouldn't surprise me if somebody do the Xbox. And once they do it, and once I see how it's done, because I'm not going to test it out, I don't have another $500 to jack this up. So once I find out how they do it, I'll take advantage of it. Rand, Mr. Almost Perfect, Wolverine, welcome. We see you guys' comments. We didn't forget about you guys. We just in the middle of it. Yeah, the PS5. Yeah, there's a video. If you go to Dave 2D's channel, he painted his PlayStation 5 already, and it's a Spider-Man theme, and it looks sweet. So check that out.
Yeah. But so jumping back on the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series. Now, in my opinion, I didn't think that Xbox Series X was that heavy as people was claiming it to be. And you had your son on your heavy, but I thought the PlayStation 5 was a lot heavier. In my opinion, that thing was huge. I mean, I was like,
I don't know. I mean, they're both pretty. I got them right here.
I think they both
heavy.
Equal. Yeah. Like I said, I would have bought my PlayStation 5 and my Xbox Series X in this room, just like plugging it in my living room. I like I said, I'll show you guys another day the actual system itself. But yeah, I don't know. It's just like the Xbox Series X wasn't that big. It wasn't as big as people claimed it to be. Until you really do a comparison with the PlayStation 5, that thing was just a monster.
I mean, it's huge.
And I sent the text message to like a group of our friends, and they thought I was just joking and stuff, saying like, "Oh, it doesn't look that big." And Mo was like, "Oh, it doesn't look that bad either." And then Ralph is on the chat too. He was like, "No, it doesn't look that big." But once they got it and then unpackaged it, they was like, "Oh shit!"
I remember when I went to Max's house to pick mine up. I looked directly at his what is that? Like a TV stand? What do you call those stands in your home?
Yeah, it was just a
cabinet or whatever. So
yeah, it's like a
his PlayStation takes up the whole compartment, and it's huge. That's all I can really say.
Yeah, because like the length of it, if you guys don't PS5, if you get a purchase of PS5, I think it's 15 and a half feet. Excuse me, not 15 and a half feet, 15 and a half inches. I'm saying feet, 15 and a half inches, as in lengthwise. And that thing is it's pretty big. It's kind of hard for me. Like I said, I wish I could. No, I'm not gonna do it right now. But yeah, if I were to bring it out, that thing is it's huge. It's pretty big for a console and stuff. And so I thought I was gonna have issues actually putting it in my TV stand because it's like I think I think lengthwise when you put a console in there, I think it's close to 20 inches of length, maybe 24, maybe 22, 25, whatever it is.
Mhm.
So I was nervous because I was saying like, is this thing really gonna fit in there? So that was just like my experience. I don't know if anybody else who got the PS5. I know Ralph got the PS5, and Moan, you just kept it on top of your desk because you just
Yep,
you
I
just
have it
have
right
it.
here next to me. It's perfect. So I don't have anything blocking or anything. It looks really good on my desk. It actually makes my desk. I actually have
Yeah,
the Xbox and PlayStation next to each other in the vertical orientation, and I love
yeah,
how they both look just right here where my arm is here. So
yeah,
and I would show you, but I don't feel like unplugging the cords and all that stuff. But I mean, I have my controller. These things are awesome. Uh,
yeah,
I know we're not there yet, but since we're talking about, it's the only thing I can really grab. And
yeah,
the controller feels like you get more of the PlayStation get more of a premium experience. So
yeah.
but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Go ahead and finish up, Max.
Yeah, so that was my experience because I had my PlayStation 5 because I don't have it stacked up on each other, but I have like shelf on PlayStation 5 on one shelf, and then I got my Xbox Series X on another shelf, and then I got my receiver on the very bottom shelf. But it's just like I sent the picture and I was like, man, this thing is huge. But getting back to the controllers used is showing which controller is better in your opinion after
So
experiencing the PlayStation 5. We'll talk about when we go to the menu and
yeah.
first load up screen. So out of your unboxing, which one is better, the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Series X?
All right, so I'll tell you what happened. So if you guys watch my video on my YouTube, you can see my reaction to both controllers. And I did grab the Xbox controller first, and I go, this thing is amazing. I was like, man, it's amazing. It feels good. It doesn't change really anything, but besides the new texture they have on the back here and the new texture that's on the triggers. So I was like, oh man, this feels amazing. I said, I tell myself, yeah, I'ma like that. And then when I go to unbox the PlayStation, I'm like, whoa.
There's your answer.
So
There's your answer.
I mean, it feels like you get a very, very, very premium experience. If I'd have grabbed this first and then did this one, I'd have said this was garbage. and maybe I need to go the Xbox Elite route. But I don't want to buy an Elite controller right now because I'm pretty sure an Elite 3 or something's in it works or whatever. So I'm gonna wait if that happens. Or buy me like a custom scuff controller or something like that. Who knows? But this thing is amazing. Are you ready to get down to the specs on this?
Yeah, we could talk about the specs. I like I said, my opinion, like I said, I really like the Xbox controller, but like Sony controller, like once you put in, it's kind of hard for. I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try to really make a video to show you how these triggers and this haptic feedback works. But it's like when you put this in your control, put the controller in your hand. It's what's the best word I could? I feel like that controller is more premium. That's probably the better word I can use. More premium and more, and I consider it as in like this is considered next generation compared to the Xbox Series X. I'm not saying that controller is bad at all. Like I said, I love that Xbox Series X controller, but after starting a game on that PlayStation 5 and getting that first haptic feedback on that game, it's like, whoa. It's a different totally different experience.
It's next level. The haptic feedback on here is next level. And what we mean by that is that it actually integrates with all your movement and feels and stuff in the game. You can even blow in the doggone thing. If you play, what is it, Astro's Playhouse? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
yeah,
I mean,
Astro
you
Playhouse. Yeah.
feel the ground in the controller you feel what it feels like to walk. I mean, it's amazing. you know,
Yeah, yeah, it's really like I say,
Sony, you did your thing. That's all I can say. You did your thing. Xbox, let's just call it like it is. This is a really good controller, but you need
yeah,
those haptic feedback features. I'm sorry. So
and that's
yeah, hire a development team to do what they're doing. Call it whatever you want. Integrate it differently. If y'all watching this, man, yeah, haptic feedback is good on here too because they already had haptic feedback, but Sony just
yeah.
took it to a whole nother level. So I mean, just call it like it is.
Yeah, but Baron, yeah, the PS5 controller is really comfortable. And the Xbox too. Both of those controllers are really
Yeah, they're
comfortable.
very
It's like,
comfortable.
yeah, each one is like, I really don't have. I'll say this: I still like the Xbox Series X controller better when it comes to shooting games, better than I do on the PlayStation 5. That's just my opinion and stuff because I like how the thumbsticks are laid out more on there. But that rumble feature that Sony put on their controller, it is like short of amazing because um like just what Moan was talking about the Astro Playground, and we was even playing Spider-Man. It's Spider-Man Miles. This is where we're going to take a deep dive into like the we'll talk about the menus in a minute. But when you first play those games, it's like, oh, I'm talking about PlayStation 5 specifically. When you have the controller, you could feel the actual vibration on each part of the controller itself. It's not like one side of the controller, so oh, you just feel it like your hand right here. It's like you feel it from your thumb side, you feel it from your fingers and stuff. It feels like an individual touch. That's the best way I could describe it.
That's a
Yeah.
good example.
Yeah, it's like you really feel on each individual touch. Like when
Yes,
Astro's Playground,
you can feel the web shooting in Spider-Man. Now, I will
you
say,
could feel the web
yeah,
shooting.
I will say that
Yeah,
PlayStation didn't go deep into the haptic feedback as they should have on Spider-Man since when did I start playing Spider-Man? Day before yesterday. Then
yeah,
they had an update yesterday, and it felt like they added more haptic feedback features. Now, I
yeah.
probably need to read on it, but that's what I felt was. I don't know if you felt that, Max, after the update, but it seemed like there was more
I
rumble, there was more touch, there was more feel.
You know what? I probably gonna have to, like I said, I had to play the game again tonight. But I just know when I first, because I didn't play Astro's Playground. I played a little bit off work, but the first game I ever played on the PlayStation 5 was Miles Morales. And if you guys, once y'all guys get that game, it's like how the game starts off. I'm not gonna spoil anything. How the game starts off, you start off in the subway, and when the subway stops, your controller sounds and feels like the subway stopping. That's kind of like it's not like no rumble, like do 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 do. It's like you feel as
You feel the brakes or what the tracks feel like.
Yeah, you feel
amazing.
the brakes on the tracks on the controller.
Then let's not mention though is that it's always good to have headsets, but you can literally talk and you can listen and talk from the controller. The speaker allows your voice chat. I mean, it's crazy because I just when I first plugged up the PlayStation controller, I already had my headphones in it because I wanted to see if my new headphones I bought work. Because I was like, man, it sucked because I just bought these about a month ago, but we'll see because I bought them for the older generation. But when I finally took them out, I was like, well, let me see how this voice thing works. I didn't even know. I thought I was about to hear people on the screen. I didn't even know that people could talk back to you on the controller. I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a little speaker, Baron. Like if Moan show the controller bottom, and you probably can't see it from his camera, but there's a speaker underneath the PS logo, and you can see the speaker right there. You could talk into it. The PlayStation 4 have it, but they migrated to the PS5 and they got like a speaker on there too. But the speaker on the PS5 is way better and stuff. Like I said, it's really hard to explain the experience of the PlayStation 5 controller until you actually have it in your hands and stuff.
Yeah.
When it comes to hack and slash, Mo haven't played any hack and slash games yet. I played Godfall because I got Godfall, I got Spider-Man Miles Morales, I got the Spider-Man remastered, and I'm trying to remember what the
You
other
got
game
Assassin's Creed, right? Or you got the
but
Xbox?
that was on the Xbox. That's the
Okay.
Xbox. Yeah, so I got those two games on PlayStation 5, and on Godfall, I played a little bit of that. You do feel when you start to slash your enemies, you do feel like triggers or whatever you call it, the tension off the trigger when you about to swing your sword. And it's like I said, it's very hard for me to really explain it, but it's like the trigger will tighten up right when you about to swing your sword, and it's like you really have to push on it to make sure, like depending if you're doing like a medium slash, or it's like you really feel the tension on that and stuff. So my opinion, I think Sony did a magnificent job with the PlayStation 5 controller. I wish Xbox will implement that.
Well,
like I said, Xbox did a good job.
Let's just tell Microsoft, look, on your series, it don't have to be on a regular controller, but on your Elite Series controllers, you need to add all this stuff. You need to add the speaker in the controller. You need to add the microphone. You need to add the next gen haptic feedback features. Your controller's amazing, I will say that, but it's once we have two consoles out like this and one of them has that feature, it kind of makes you feel like you're a little behind. Now, I will say the Xbox, I do love the support of the displays. I was talking to Max the other day. Both of my Xbox and my PlayStation are displaying in 4K. It says that, but I think it's downscaling from the monitor 1440p. I'm not sure. I know the PlayStation is not pushing out 1440p, but the Xbox, I was able to go in there and I was able to actually pick it and pick the refresh rates. So I will say that, you know, Xbox has their features. I've been so wrapped up in Spider-Man Miles Morales, I haven't even played the Xbox like that. I did install Call of Duty Modern Warfare, but I haven't cut it on yet. I haven't cut it on because I want to hook up my keyboard and mouse to it. And I did go in the settings and it does show mouse support. I don't know about keyboard, so I'll have to find out.
Yeah. So, all right. So, So let's move on from the controller. So, yeah, I could talk about the controller.
So let's talk about the UI. What do you think about the UI, man?
Yeah. So, all right. So now we could talk about the UI. And I know people probably saw this on YouTube. I could go video. I'll probably do a review on the UI. So, if everybody's familiar with the Xbox UI, is identical from the Xbox to the Xbox Series X. It's almost identical stuff at the background, a dynamic background. That's pretty much the only difference that I saw on there. When you turn it on for the first time, it's very easy. From the Xbox Series X perspective, it's very easy. You just pull up your app. You hit this barcode. No, not this barcode. You put, if you have the Xbox app and you already signed in, and then there is a barcode, and you all you have to do is scan the barcode on your TV or monitor, and it pretty much loads all your settings on the Xbox Series X. So that was really easy.
So intuitive. I was like, man, this was awesome.
It was so easy.
Yeah,
and stuff on the PlayStation 5. It was easy, but I felt the Xbox transfer I thought it was a lot better. I thought it was a lot easier to get into the Xbox than it was the PlayStation 5. The PlayStation 5, I felt there was a lot of steps you had to go ahead and take. But I mean, but the PlayStation 5 was really nice, but I will give it to Microsoft how easy it was to get your stuff set up, get your internet, get your gamer's card on there and all that. With the PlayStation 5, if you got to also download, and then it's like they'll ask you multiple questions, and you want to do two-way authentication code, or do you want to do? I mean, they ask you a lot of questions with the Xbox. It was just like 3 steps, maybe even 2 steps if you had the app, and then with the PlayStation 5, it was like 4 or 5 steps.
Yeah, and
so I would give it up.
I will say both of them were very. When you buy I shouldn't say early adoption. When you buy things on the first day, or when you want to get that first experience, there's usually a lot of errors. I am surprised this time around that there's things on the internet that shows that there's some issues or bugs, but this has got to be the smoothest transition to a console I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah,
back in the
it really
day when
was.
stuff wasn't online, there really was no bugs because they built the game on a cartridge or a CD and then you were done. But
Yeah.
so I guess we could start from Xbox regular and we could start from PS2. PS2 because they copied off of Xbox and wanted to go online, but everything was buggy every single console generation when it first released. This was pretty smooth. Now, I did experience a crash on the PlayStation, but because the freaking SSD is so fast, I just tapped the thing and I was back in the game. Now, the PlayStation 4 just kicks you out and then you got to start the game all over again. I thought that was amazing.
You had a crash on your PlayStation 5?
Yeah, I had when I was in the middle of Spider-Man, I had an error. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
But this was before we knew about
Okay.
all the stuff that was going on the internet. So
Oh, crap.
then when that happened, I was like,
Okay.
oh, okay, whatever. This is just how PlayStation 4 does. Oh, it's just a crash report. I can start the game again. But I was literally in the middle of fighting I don't want to spoil the game. Whatever the boss was, I was fighting.
Yeah.
And then it crashed. I'm like, oh, that sucks. All right, let me start this over. And it literally came back in the middle of my punch. And I was like, oh, it didn't stop the game at all.
Yeah.
So
I
thought that was
didn't have a
good.
crash on mine. Yeah. I didn't have a crash on
This new update is
Xbox.
supposed to fix it. So you probably won't get
Yeah,
one now.
I didn't have a crash on the Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 and stuff. But like I said, when you start the system, both of them are pretty easy, feel self-explanatory and stuff. But I will give Xbox as in like simplicity's sake, like they had the best way of getting you set up for
and immediately
for
going. Immediately.
Yeah, immediately going. It's very easy. So when we go into the UI perspective, the PlayStation
The presentation
and the
is just amazing. Just next level.
Yeah.
It makes you
PlayStation
feel
5, Sony blows you.
Yeah.
I'm saying this wholeheartedly. That UI is really hard for me to explain. It's like I know people seen videos of it, but when you experience that UI, it's way better than the Xbox. And don't get me wrong, I think.
Well, that's because the Xbox we expected to be the same.
Well, they did a really good job with the store, with the Xbox store, but Sony is just like, it's like when you play that PlayStation 5, when you get into that UI, the first thing that I said to myself, and I think I text the whole group. I said this feels next generation when PlayStation 5 started when you went into the UI. It was just like that felt like the next generation. The Xbox Series X, it is just like how it was on the Xbox. Everything is exactly the same stuff, dynamic background wallpaper that I just mentioned, which is not bad. I'm not saying it's not bad at all because people are accustomed to the same thing, but in my opinion, I think Sony did a way better job when it comes to a UI perspective.
Now I do want to say though, because one of the things Baron says, so you guys say the PS5 is really worth it compared to the Xbox. To be honest with you, if you want my honest opinion, they're kind of equal, except that PlayStation just a little bit more immersive. There's nothing wrong with the Xbox. Xbox is amazing.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Xbox. Yeah,
it's amazing.
And that's one thing I want to make. There's nothing wrong with the Xbox, and this is kind of it's like when it comes to the UI, I'm giving it to PlayStation. When it comes to the controller, I'm giving it to the PlayStation, and when it comes to the game, this is kind of like where. When it comes to the game, Mo haven't started playing the Xbox Series X games. I played Xbox Series X games and I played the PlayStation 5 games. Now, for third-party games, my opinion, I think the Xbox is better. That's just my opinion. Mm-hmm. I have seen videos that people are doing, like Digital Foundry. I think I can't think of the other YouTube channel that did some comparison. And I texted Moan about this too. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla that was playing on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5, doing the comparison and running at the same time. Both of them was running like almost identical. identical. It was a couple frames that dropped below 60, depending on, I think it was like a cutscene or whatever the case may be. And then on Devil May Cry 5, I think it's the special edition. They was doing a comparison on 120 frames, 120 frames on both the Series X and the PlayStation 5. And Digital Foundry said that PlayStation 5 looked like it didn't say it looked like it performed better than the Xbox Series X. But I think that, from my opinion, I think it wasn't, like I said, the developers haven't utilized what the Xbox can do, because this is a new system. But with the PlayStation 5, they're more accustomed to it because it's very similar to their previous generation, like the PlayStation 4, where they're able to utilize a lot quicker than the Xbox. So those two games, and I think Call of Duty Black Ops, they have showed the comparison between those two games. You did see some frame dips on the Series X, but the PlayStation 5, it looked like it was doing 120 frames. But like I said, I haven't noticed it on my side when I'm playing Call of Duty. I mean, Assassin's Creed looked magnificent. Call of Duty looked magnificent. The load time was virtually seamless. I think the load times, in my opinion, the Xbox Series X, depending on the game, like I said, we can't say Spider-Man is load faster on the Series X because Xbox doesn't have Spider-Man. But Call of Duty load way faster and stuff. Yeah. I mean, it was like in seconds. Assassin's Creed, if anybody has played an Assassin's Creed game, it took minutes. Assassin's Creed probably took maybe 10 or 15 seconds in my experience and stuff. So yeah, that was just my experience when it comes to Series X.
So I know that we did talk a lot about PlayStation. Now let's get down to what people really want to know. I did have some hardships with the PlayStation, even though we saying all this good stuff. One of them was I couldn't find where all my cloud storage was. I had to have one of my buddies, Randall, help me. Because I was so pissed. I got rid of my PlayStation, and I thought I had to have my console just to upload my games, and I want to replay some of these games in the new software. And so that was one of my hardships. Second hardship was I couldn't for the life of me find the chat option. Max had to help me with that. I couldn't find the chat option. The third one that I do not like from PlayStation is that when you play Spider-Man Miles Morales, you have a choice to either play 4K 30 with ray tracing.
You got the fidelity and the performance mode.
Yeah, you got 4K 30 with ray tracing, or you can play 4K 60 or 4K 120, I can't remember, without ray tracing.
It's so you got the fidelity mode. So the fidelity mode on Spider-Man 4K 30 with ray tracing, and then you got the performance mode, which is 4K 60 without the ray tracing.
Yeah. So,
but the 4K 60, I believe is dynamic. It's not native 4K.
Yeah.
In the fidelity mode, it is 4K, but it's at 30 frames per second.
Yeah. So I went straight for it. So I haven't experienced ray tracing yet. I went straight for performance. I'm not gonna take out my performance for visuals. I need that butter smooth gameplay. Now, maybe what I'll do is after I beat the game, I'll try it out. But I'm gonna be dreadful playing games in 30. I haven't played games in 30 frames in I don't know how long. So it irritates me.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I haven't tried it. I felt, in my opinion, I toggle between both of them, and the fidelity mode is good. It is really great to look at, but I felt the performance mode was sharper, in my opinion, when it comes to the visuals.
Because it's dynamic. It's dynamic, and you got the frames are high. That's why.
Yeah, so that, in my opinion, I felt that the performance mode was better, and I've been playing the 4K 60, and I absolutely love it. It's like it feels really good. And if we jump from Xbox Series X, they don't have a fidelity or performence mode. It's just
raw power. What the developers put there. That's
it's just raw power. It's like you just go into your settings when you get your Xbox. Depending on your TV, if you have a 4K that can display 4K 120, the system itself will produce what the game can do. So if that makes sense. So if your TV could do 4K 60 or whatever, which most TVs can if you have a 4K TV, then you're pretty much good to go. Like Assassin's Creed played at 4K 60 with no problem. Actually, I take that back. Actually, I'm wrong. Yeah, you do all the settings on your Xbox 5 too, but I think it depends on the game. So on the because I noticed this because I got Devil May Cry 5 special edition on the Xbox Series X, and you can toggle between higher frames, or you could do the 4K ray tracing. I think there's 3 settings. There's normal, there's 4K with ray tracing, and then there's a performance mode, but it only do 1080p at 120 hertz.
They don't have a 4K 60 option?
No, they have the 4K 60. That's okay. I believe that's a normal.
Is that with ray tracing or without?
That's 4K. The normal mode is just without, and then they got I think they have the setting with ray tracing, and I believe that's 4K 60 on the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. But it is an uncapped frame rate. That's the thing is about it. It's an uncapped frame rate, so it sometimes it dips below 60. Yeah. Depending on where you at in the game. Yeah. And then there's a performance mode where it does 120, but it's at 1080p. Well, hold on for a minute. Actually, I'm like totally wrong on this. There's 4 modes. There's 4 modes. I'm sorry about that.
Okay. So maybe I'll cut the game on.
Yeah. There's 4 modes. No, there's a normal 4K 60. There's the performance mode, which I just said 1080p at 120. But then there's a performance mode with ray tracing, which is 1080p at 120, but it has ray tracing in it, but it doesn't look as good. Yeah. And then there's I explained all the settings. Yeah, so that's all the settings of Devil May Cry. So I think it depends on what developer, what game it is. They'll give you those options of
this is why we need first party games. And that's the downfall right there. So let me make this clear though. If you have been a PlayStation fanboy and never really got on the Xbox, when you do get on the Series X, if you decide to go that route, you're gonna say the same thing that we're saying about PlayStation because the Xbox UI is amazing. Me and Max are just used to it, so there's nothing really different about it. Because it was the same when I was playing just PlayStation. I don't know when PS4 came out. I didn't have an Xbox for about 4 years, and I finally got one. And the same UI that's on there, I thought it was amazing. I thought it was better than the PlayStation. So you'll have that. You'll have that experience. Like, oh man, this is awesome, and it's just easy. It's just really really easy to use, and it just looks good. It looks good, and it just. So don't put it past Xbox. If you're just an Xbox user, it's not going to feel the same. PlayStation changed everything, so it feels totally different.
Yeah, they changed everything.
Yeah, it just feels like you're getting a whole different experience. But PlayStation did the same thing from PS3 to PS4, where they used basically the same UI in some kind of way. And Xbox is doing the same thing. Their next generation, they're using the same UI. So next 7 years comes out, they're going to have probably a different one. I told Max before we started speculating all this stuff that Xbox is going to use that same one because this is the first time to use it in a console generation. So I knew that they were going to that was just hands down. They're not going to change that.
No, he's absolutely right about that. Yeah. So like I mentioned before, I think it all depends on the as a Xbox is going to be better when it comes to their games, but like I said. If you had to choose between either or console, you can't go wrong either way and stuff. So that's just my opinion. I can't say one is better than the other. I'm just saying as I'm you can't go wrong with either and stuff because both of them are really good consoles and stuff. So the only reason I was leaning towards more PlayStation 5 is because
the first party games and
it's first party games and controller experience, which I was just mentioning before. Besides that, like I said, I like Xbox better. But that's like I said, that's just my opinion when it comes to that perspective. But but you see the third party games. Like I said, this is the first. They just released it. You're really not gonna see too much of a difference when it comes to graphics wise. Pretty much both of them going to show pretty much almost identical with their games as of right now. Next year, I'm hoping you're going to start to see a difference and stuff, especially when it comes to their first party games. You might see them really utilize itself. Then that's where you're really going to start seeing it, right? Seeing it. But other than that, when it comes to games wise, they load super fast. I mean, it's crazy how fast these games load.
You can't go wrong with either one.
Load. Yeah, you can't go wrong either or. If I'm comparing it between both load times between PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, like I said, I don't have difference. I can't really tell the difference, to be honest with you. It's like I literally would have to stopwatch, which I really don't. It's like I literally just turn on the game and it's like select the game. It just starts immediately. It's probably like a couple of seconds and stuff like that. That when you go to you're actually playing the game. So it's kind of like that's just my experience. Same thing for Xbox Series X. Same thing for the PlayStation 5. It's like instant.
And they come on quick from their standby mode.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never known my TV can cut on this fast. My TV doesn't cut on this fast when I use the remote to cut it on. And I'm just, maybe I'm over exaggerating, but that's just how it feels compared to, cutting on your old Xbox and your old PlayStation, especially if something was wrong, you got to restart them. They take forever to load up. So
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. I like both of them. They're awesome. I've been playing the PlayStation more because they have the first party games. I love first party games. A lot of third party games are good. It's just that first party games give you that full. Developers put their all into it because it's their console. That's what they work for, and that's just they're going to give you that full experience. They know the console well. They got third parties who they allow. Sony and Microsoft to work with their system, so they make stuff around their system. They're not working for them. They don't have, the materials to make their own software and engines and all that stuff, and they put them in these games for third parties. So so first parties is the way to go. If Halo Infinite was out, I'm bringing it up. This will really be a tight first party. Just that one game, it'd have been tight for me. I'd be like, man, I don't know.
Subs are wave. Yeah.
So I don't know. If Halo was out, I would probably be on it. I probably wouldn't have played the PlayStation yet. I'm just be honest.
Like I said, I probably flip back and forth because I love comic books and stuff. I'm a Marvel, DC and stuff. It's just Spider-Man. Like I said, especially Miles Morales and stuff. And it's just like he's one of my favorite characters and stuff, especially just like seeing him and especially when we have someone who is our background, our color and stuff like that. It's just like seeing him playing it as him and stuff. I think is just phenomenal and stuff. So that's why I just like really, really, really gravitated towards that game and stuff. So just seeing superheroes, especially coming from, like looking at us being black and stuff, it's just great.
It just feels good. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just great to see more that. So it's just like for that, it's just really good. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm a Halo fan. I'm a Halo fanatic. It's just like Spider-Man. I just had to pick that up. It's Spider-Man and stuff. So that was just one of the things about it. One thing I will say too about PlayStation 5 system itself, I do like their broadcasting better than I do Xbox.
I haven't even tried it because I do my own broadcasting.
I could YouTube on if I want to play a game live. And it looks like I said, I did like a test and stuff like that. I deleted the video off my YouTube, but it's really good. Xbox, on the other hand, you only could do it from Twitch, and then unless you do kind of like what Moan does, where you have your PC and then you have your video card hooked up to your console. But it's like with PlayStation, it's like all you have to do is plug up your PlayStation 5.
You hit a button and then you're there.
you pretty much hit a button. It's like for him set up that before you can start streaming. With the PlayStation, I could just hit that button and I say, hey guys, I'm there. And it's pretty easy. It's like the Xbox Series X. It's like they have it on the Twitch, but I don't know why they don't have it for YouTube. So Xbox, I think you guys should do that. I think you should add YouTube to it. I haven't. So That's one thing I will like give my nod to on PlayStation. They using both YouTube and Twitch, so that's one thing they need to really have to work on.
I think what happened was when Xbox came out with Mixer, they thought it was the end all. And to be honest with you, Mixer was really good. I don't know why it shut down.
Yeah, it was really good.
But the what do you call it? Facebook gaming. You know what I do? It's awesome. It's just that it's new, and what I've noticed is, and it's what a lot of big streamers said, the market for watching mobile games is on Facebook Gaming, and all the AAA titles is Twitch and YouTube. No, I'm sorry. The AAA titles is Twitch, and YouTube is a mixture of the AAA and the mobile games. But if you want to watch a lot of mobile games, you know, I just started streaming more AAA titles because we got the new consoles. And to be honest with you, as much as a PC fan I am, I will always love PC over all the stuff because I can always go over and beyond these consoles. But the doing it off of one PC like I've been doing off of one laptop has been hard on my performance, and I haven't been able to stream big AAA titles, but I'm able to do it now with my capture card with zero latency, what Elgato promotes. So, and it's just been awesome experience. If you guys go to my Facebook page, I played Spider-Man Miles Morales for like 3 hours with no performance dips. Not one. And the Elgato card, it does an amazing job. It was a little pricey, but I mean, it was worth it. It's really worth it. I can't go wrong with that. And I think that, you know, as long as I can plug up a keyboard and mouse to my console, I haven't tried it yet. I'm going to try it. I see Xbox has it, but I got to kind of change my whole setup here because I'm looking down at it and try to fit something to where it's going to work with keyboard and mouse, but also got my laptop, which has a mouse pad and a keyboard with it. And I got to try to see how I'm going to put all the stuff, because I still got to do cable management. My desk is horrible right now with all the stuff hooked up. It's horrible. It is horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. Both consoles are awesome. I got a good experience out of both of them. What do you say, Max? Before we end this,
I'm saying since the console just launched now, like I said, I'm still neutral, but right now I'm still giving. I still tip over to PlayStation 5 because of what they have done right now. Now, like I said, Xbox Series X and like Phil Spencer, the guy that head of Xbox, I love you guys. I think y'all did a really good job and stuff. But I just think that there's certain things that need to be done, like first party games. I know we already talked about that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm talking about like as of today and stuff. I know the first party games are coming next year.
Come out with a new controller. That's one of my things.
Yeah, I think you guys need to really do something with the controller. As in, like, I like the feel of it, but I think what Sony did is
the standard. Like, I feel like that's the standard.
Yeah, I think it's a new standard. It's a next generation. And that's why I think Microsoft need to really take a look at and really understand when it comes to those haptic feedback and stuff like that. Like I said, I love the rumble on the triggers, but it's nothing like compared to a Sony PlayStation 5. I would say that. And then my only my other thing is that I think they need to work on the UI with the Microsoft Store. Well, with the Xbox, I think the store looks good. The Xbox Store is just like the UI on that. I know I'm not the only one. A lot of other people said the same thing too. I think it's good, but it's not great and stuff. And it doesn't feel like
we're used to it. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and I think it's because we're used to it. That's why I think that's something that needs to be changed. And then if you guys could add YouTube for your broadcast instead of just Twitch, that would, like I said, that would change a lot of people, especially like me who doesn't have a PC yet, or a PC to really stream like that. So it's kind of like that's just my opinion. I know if I could go to the PlayStation, I could plug up my camera and then I just put broadcast. I don't have to worry about all that other stuff on the back end where I had to like do what Mona's doing and stuff like that, do a crazy effect. I could just go ahead and just start and stuff. That's just kind of like my opinion and stuff. Yeah. What about you, Mo?
I will say I'm kind of team PlayStation right now. Phil or Microsoft, your console is actually amazing. It's just I like this whole next level. I like the immersion. I guess that's what's grabbing me right now. Makes me feel like I'm in the game. But who knows? I don't know if does Xbox have a VR solution? Are you able to plug up like an Oculus to this thing?
I don't think so.
I have to do
Or
some
they haven't.
research. I have to do some
Yeah,
research.
PlayStation 5 said they because people said ask if they could plug their old VR, and I
Yeah.
think they said no. So, so
Well,
that's something.
I think that if Xbox was to come out where it's compatible with Oculus, and it will make sense, right? Because they have
Yeah,
Facebook gaming on their stuff. So
yeah,
if they can come out with Oculus, I think that will even the playing field. Like if they come out with it this year, but which I don't,
yeah,
I don't know if they're thinking of that. I don't know if they're going to do that. I don't even know if this is even a thing.
yeah,
I think they'll have something until they work out this. If they want to work out this controller thing, I hope that if they come out with an Elite Series 3, that um they'll have all the features that that this have, and I hope they have developers in the background that will kind of make you a dedicated team that will put the feel of the controller. Well, wait, feel of the game in the controller. I hope they do that.
yeah,
They don't have to
yeah,
copy off of Sony. They can create their own way. It can be software based. It doesn't matter to me. They already have a
yeah,
haptic feedback feature, so you get some sort of realism when you're playing racing games. But that's just if a steering wheel has tension from the ground. You don't actually feel the ground. Um,
yeah,
but I right now from now until December, I'm PlayStation guy. Hopefully I'll
yeah,
be able to. I think I'm gonna beat Spider-Man Miles Morales today. So when I beat that, I'm gonna
yeah.
finally hop on the Series X and try out Duty, and I'm gonna try out what do I have? I got Watchdog and Assassin's Creed. So I'm gonna try Assassin's Creed last because Max is already in it, so he can kind of tell me about it before I get into it. Not the story, but just his experience, and then I'll play it after. But then we got to get on Godfall together. So,
Yeah, yeah,
so
we're gonna stream that.
yeah,
No, I got to stream it on his. So stay tuned for that.
yeah,
But yeah, we had to cut this podcast short because
yep, yep.
I gotta leave. But just to give you guys on our next show, I know we haven't talked about everything on the Xbox and Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. I want to talk about backwards compatible gaming
Yes.
for next week
Mm-hmm.
because, like I said, on both consoles look great, and it's
Yeah.
like I'll go into detail with that. Mo's gonna go into detail about that too. We'll talk about our experience with that, and we even talk about more features on both systems and stuff. But other than that, that's all I have.
Yeah, that'll
If you
give us
guys
an opportunity from now to next week to be able to play with it. We still haven't talked about PlayStation Plus collection. That was a surprise to me on
Yeah.
launch. So we got some more stuff to talk about.
Yeah, and then before we go, I just want to say thank you, everyone. I was finally able to hit over 100 subscribers. I really appreciate you guys subscribing to my channel personally and stuff. It really means the world to me and stuff. Thanks again and stuff, and definitely appreciate it. But if you haven't subscribed, please check my YouTube channel. Like Mo say, I do a lot of unboxing, tech reviews, and stuff. So if you like that type of stuff, go ahead and come to the channel and subscribe, and you'll see more videos like that.
Yep. And I stream, and I'm getting into the YouTube game like Max. So we're trying to do this thing. So, but we gotta go. So we love you guys.
Yeah.
We appreciate you stopping by, and we'll see you next week.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.